Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, I thank ASG Martha Phobi, UNODC Executive Director Gada Fati Wali, Executive Secretary of the Gulf of Guinea Commission Ambassador Florentina Adinike, and EU Commission Maritime Planning Office Commander Abdullahi Yakubu for their respective briefings. The problem of maritime piracy is as old as the history of maritime navigation. However, with the rapid growth in international trade through maritime navigation, the growth of piracy in past 2 decades has been unprecedented. Piracy is not only a threat to the freedom of maritime navigation, but also causes destabilizing effects on global and regional trade and security. The negative humanitarian impact of this threat on seafarers, who are the lifeline of maritime shipping, can no longer be ignored. The menace of piracy can only be defeated through effective cooperation and implementation of legal frameworks on maritime security at both regional and international levels. Mr. President, maritime security has been one of the key priorities for India in the Security Council. During India's presidency of the Security Council last year, our Prime Minister chaired a meeting on maritime security. During the meeting, the Council also adopted a presidential statement, the first ever Council document on the issue of maritime security. The salience of this issue was further highlighted through the adoption of Security Council resolution on piracy and armed robbery at sea in the Gulf of Guinea in May 2022, a crucial initiative by Ghana and Norway. In this context, we welcome the Secretary General's report on this issue that contains many useful recommendations. Mr. President, the report notes the reduction of piracy incidents in the Gulf of Guinea underpinned by several factors. This includes the positive impact of piracy-related convictions in the countries of the region, as well as the deterrent effects of increased naval patrols by the Nigerian Navy, aided by better regional cooperation. However, it is important that we do not lower our guard against piracy in the Gulf of Guinea and continue to take robust anti-piracy measures. The report notes the growing risk of terrorist threat spilling over from Central Sahel towards the Gulf of Guinea, as was demonstrated by the terrorist attacks against government forces in Benin and Togo since 2021. We need to continue to look out for links between extremist, terrorist, and pirate groups in the Gulf of Guinea, as these can be a lethal nexus and has the potential to reverse the recent anti-piracy gains made in Gulf of Guinea. The lower conviction rates in piracy cases have remained a cause of concern, despite recent 2 convictions in Togo and Nigeria. While we welcome these convictions, much more needs to be done to check the impunity of pirates. Mr. President, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea remains the main legal framework for addressing piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. We encourage the countries of the region to take steps to enact legislation for criminalizing piracy to the full extent as set out in UNCLOS, as also has been referred to in the report, in order to achieve effective suppression of piracy in the region. The Yaoundé architecture has played a significant role in enhancing the regional cooperation. However, the zonal, sub-regional, and inter-regional coordination arrangements face several challenges, such as lack of predictable and sustainable financing, adequate expertise, equipment, and logistical support, as well as timely information sharing. The international community needs to enhance their support to the countries in the region, as well as regional architectures to overcome these bottlenecks. We commend the efforts of Ghana for prioritizing the issue during the chairmanship of ECOWAS and now as chairman of Gulf of Guinea Commission. We welcome the recent adoption of ECOWAS Supplementary Act on the conditions of transfer of persons suspected to having committed acts of piracy and their associated property and evidence. Mr. President, India has been engaged with countries in the region, particularly in Gulf of Guinea, on maritime matters, including through deployment of Navy patrols as well as building of anti-piracy capacities of the countries in the region. As mentioned in the present report, the Indian Navy was deployed in the Gulf of Guinea since 4th September 2022 for a month, contributing to the efforts against piracy, armed robbery, as well as towards training and awareness workshops in the region. The Information Fusion Center, Indian Ocean region, located near Delhi, is integrated with Yaoundé architecture through a third country liaison officer stationed there, and continues to effectively contribute to the maritime domain awareness in the area. In conclusion, Mr. President, India would continue to support all national, regional, and international efforts for strengthening maritime security, including in the Gulf of Guinea, in consultation with the countries in the region. I thank you.